Hi and welcome to Pronunciation with Paul. The title of today's lesson is Viewing Wavy Whales. Viewing wavy whales. I am sure that you can guess what the topic of today's lesson is. The two English consonants W and V. They give a lot of people considerable difficulty. A lot of my Indian clients, for example, have to spend quite a bit of time to get the quality of the W, V. Sometimes they interchange those two consonants, so we have to work quite hard on those. Let me talk a little bit about those consonants. First, the V, as in very and vex and so forth. You can probably see, as well as hear, that my bottom lip contacts my top teeth, and there's a space between them, and the air is forced under pressure, creating friction. V, v, v. The upper lip is not involved at all, just the lower lip and the top teeth. V, v. And the sound lasts quite a long time. W, on the other hand, is a shorter sound, and the two organs of articulation are the two lips. W. The two lips are brought forward clear of the teeth. There is no touching of the teeth by the lips, and this sound is without friction. W, 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 v, w. V, w. Those are the two sounds. And we have lots of minimal pairs in English that differ by only the presence or the absence of a w or a v. And so lots of meanings depend upon the ability to make those two sounds. Here are some minimal pairs. Pairs of words differing by only one sound. And in this case it's the, whether it has a w or a v, w or a v. I'll say these for you and leave time for you to repeat them. And I'd like you to exaggerate them. I'd like you to make the v last a little bit longer than you would in normal conversation. And I'd like you to do the w very suddenly, as if it's maybe a quarter of the length of the v. So we have wine and vine, and I'd like you to exaggerate them in that way. A very quick w without any friction, keeping the lips clear of the teeth, and then a longer v with the bottom lip buzzing against the top teeth. So here's that pair again for you to repeat. Wine, vine. While, vile. West, vest. Worse, verse. Whale, veil. Rowing, roving. Let's talk a little bit about words with a WH, just in case you're wondering. Words like when and which and why, spelled WH. Some old-fashioned speakers in English will aspirate those sounds. Why, when, which. But for most of the population, it's just the same as if it was just a W. So, when and west have the same sound, the same voiced sound. So that's all the information I have to give you about those two sounds, w and v. Let's try them in some sentences. I've mixed up the v's and the w's in 4 sentences, and here's the first one. Wally quietly viewed the waving whale. And As with the minimal pairs, I'm going to ask you to exaggerate the quality. A very quick, frictionless w, and a rather longer v with plenty of friction. Here's that sentence again. Wally quietly viewed the waving whale. Your turn. Good. Here's the second one. Swift vines recover well when winter is quite severe. Again, I'll exaggerate the V's. Swift vines recover well when winter is quite severe. Your turn. And here's the third one. Quick swelling waves washed away 7 white vans. Quick swelling waves washed away 7 white vans. Again, I'll do this in a rather exaggerated way, holding on to the v sounds. Quick swelling waves washed away 7 white vans. Your turn. And the fourth one. Several lovely wives wished a welcome. Several lovely wives wished a welcome. And again, I'm going to ask you to make the v sounds last a little bit longer than you would make it in ordinary conversation. Here we go. Several lovely wives wished a welcome. Your turn. So just to summarize, w is quick, sudden, without friction, with no involvement of the upper teeth. V involves the lower lip and the upper teeth, and air is forced through the gap between the lower lip and the top teeth with some friction. And it's a continuant. The sound lasts a little bit longer. So I hope that's helped you discriminate those two pairs, find the difference between them, and move closer to your target of either British or American English. The two consonants are exactly the same treatment in both English, British English, and American English. So regardless of your target, this lesson should have helped you. It's been a pleasure being with you, as always. I hope that's been helpful. Bye-bye.